Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you study, your grades just don't budge? I get it. That's exactly where Jake was, a regular high school kid from Ohio. Every day, he'd sit at his desk, surrounded by books, but nothing seemed to stick. His friends teased him, his teachers sighed, and deep down, Jake started to believe he'd never be good enough. Then, one day, something small changed everything. In just a few months, Jake didn't just boost his grades. He became confident, focused, and proud of who he was becoming. What was his secret? Today, I'm sharing 10 simple but powerful secrets that turned Jake's story around. From mastering focus, building rock-solid habits, to learning faster with less effort, these are the game changers you need. Stick with me, and let's uncover them together right now. Comment below if you've ever felt like Jake, and let's start this journey. Secret 1. Change your mindset. Believe in your own worth. Let's start with the first secret that changed everything for Jake. Believing in your own worth. Your mind is powerful. What you think about yourself shapes who you become. If you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, you'll act like it. But if you believe you're capable, doors start to open. It's not about being perfect. It's about trusting you can grow. For Jake, this was a game changer. He used to sit in class, feeling like everyone else was smarter. His logs felt like proof he was a failure. But then he tried something simple. Every morning he looked in the mirror and said, "I'm not less than anyone. I can do this." At first, it felt silly, but over time, those words sank in. He started raising his hand in class, even when he wasn't sure of the answer. Slowly, his confidence grew, and so did his grades. Jake realized his worth wasn't tied to his test scores. It was about his effort and belief in himself. Here's the lesson. You don't need to wait for someone else to tell you you're enough. Start small, like Jake did. Write down one thing you're proud of each day, or try a daily affirmation. Tell yourself, "I'm learning, and that's enough." When you believe in your value, you'll show up differently, in class, at home, everywhere. Trust me, this is where the magic begins. Secret 2. Boost your focus with meditation and mindfulness. Now, let's talk about the second secret that helped Jake transform his studies. Sharpening your focus through meditation and mindfulness. When your mind is scattered, it's hard to soak in what you're learning. Meditation trains your brain to stay present, like a muscle getting stronger with practice. It's not about emptying your mind, it's about guiding it to focus on one thing at a time. Jake discovered this when he was struggling to stay awake during study sessions. His mind would wander to video games, or what his friends were posting online. Then, a friend suggested he try meditation. Jake started small, 5 minutes each morning, sitting quietly and focusing on his breath. He'd breathe in, count 1, breathe out, count 2 to 10, then start over. Some days, his mind still wandered, but he kept at it. Within weeks, he noticed a difference. In class, he could follow the teacher's explanations without zoning out. At home, he studied for an hour without checking his phone. That focus turned his C's into B's. Here's the lesson. You don't need hours to build focus, just a few minutes a day. Try Jake's breathing trick, or use an app like Headspace to guide you. Pick a quiet spot, start with 5 minutes, and be patient. Your brain will thank you, and you'll be amazed at how much more you can learn when your mind is truly present. Secret 3. Build discipline with an optimal study schedule. Let's move to the third secret that turned Jake's academic life around. Building discipline with a solid study schedule. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to study all day. It's about creating a routine that makes learning feel natural. When you do the same tasks at the same time every day, your brain gets ready for action, like clockwork. A good schedule sets you up to focus without the stress of deciding when to start. For Jake, this was a revelation. He used to study whenever he felt like it, which often meant cramming late at night. He was always tired and overwhelmed. Then he decided to get organized. He made a daily plan: wake up at 7 a.m., study from 7 to 9 p.m., and sleep by 10. He broke his study time into 25-minute chunks with 5-minute breaks, using a timer to stay on track. At first, sticking to it was tough, but after a week, it felt automatic. His body knew when it was time to learn, and he finished homework faster, leaving time for hobbies. That routine helped him go from barely passing to earning consistent B's. Here's the lesson. A schedule doesn't have to be rigid. It just needs to be consistent. Start by picking one study time each day, like Jake's 7 p.m. slot, and commit to it for a week. Use a simple tool like Google Calendar or a notebook to plan your day. Small, steady steps build discipline that lasts. Trust me, once your routine clicks, studying will feel less like a chore and more like a habit you're proud of. Secret number 4. Maximize classroom learning. Be active and take effective notes. Our fourth secret is all about making the most of your time in class. Stay engaged and take notes that actually help. Your classroom is where learning begins. If you're present and active, you'll soak up more, which means less time struggling at home. Good notes aren't just scribbles. Is a roadmap to understanding and remembering what your teacher shares. Jake learned this the hard way. He used to zone out in history class, doodling or daydreaming, then panic when homework hit. Everything felt like starting from scratch. Then he tried a new approach. He started sitting near the front, away from chatty friends, and asked at least one question per class to stay engaged. He also used the Cornell note-taking method, dividing his page into sections for key points, details, and a summary. During a lesson on the Civil War, he jotted down main ideas like key battles and questions to ask later. When it was time to study, his notes made reviewing a breeze. That year, he went from a D to an A in history. Here's the lesson. Your classroom time is gold. Use it wisely. Try Jake's trick. Sit where you can focus. Raise your hand once per class, and experiment with organized note-taking. If something's unclear, ask your teacher. Don't wait. Being active in class saves hours of stress later and builds confidence. You've got this. Just show up ready to learn, and the results will follow. Secret number 5. Take care of your physical and mental health. Our fifth secret is a big one. Prioritize your physical and mental health. Your brain is like an engine. It needs the right fuel and care to run at its best. Eating well, staying active, and managing stress don't just keep you healthy. They supercharge your ability to focus and learn. When you feel good, studying becomes easier and more effective. Jake saw this firsthand. He used to skip breakfast, chug energy drinks, and stay up late, leaving him exhausted and foggy in class. His grades suffered, and he felt overwhelmed. Then he made a change. He started eating balanced meals, like oatmeal with fruit for breakfast and a handful of almonds as a snack. He added a 30-minute walk each morning, which cleared his mind. To ease stress, he tried a bedtime routine with no screens an hour before sleep. Within weeks, he felt sharper and more alert. He could tackle math problems without zoning out, and his mood lifted too. Better health turned him into a better student. Here's the lesson. Small health habits make a huge difference. Start like Jake did. Swap one sugary snack for something nutritious, like yogurt or nuts. Try a short walk or stretch daily to boost energy. And give your mind a break with a tech-free wind down before bed. Your body and brain are your greatest tools. Treat them well, and they'll carry you far in your studies and beyond. Secret number 6. Minimize distractions and organize your study space. Our 6th secret is about setting yourself up for success. Minimize distractions and create a study space that works. Your environment shapes how well you focus. A cluttered, noisy space pulls your mind away, but a clean, quiet one helps you dive into learning. turning off distractions like your phone or social media is key to staying on track. Jake learned this lesson when he noticed how often he'd stop studying to check his phone. Notifications from friends or TikTok would derail him for hours. His bedroom, with a comfy bed and gaming console, wasn't helping either. So, he made a change. He set up a small desk in a quiet corner of his house, with just his books, a lamp, and a water bottle. He put his phone on Do Not Disturb and left it in another room. During study sessions, he used 25-minute focus blocks with 5-minute breaks to stretch or grab a snack. That setup helped him power through assignments without losing focus. His productivity soared, and he even had time for fun afterward. Here's the lesson. Your study space doesn't need to be fancy, just intentional. Try Jake's approach. Find a quiet spot, clear the clutter, and silence your phone. If you get restless, take short breaks to move around, but skip scrolling. A focused environment makes studying feel less like a battle. Build your space, guard your attention, and you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish. Secret number 7. Master effective study techniques. Spaced repetition and active recall. Our 7th secret is about studying smarter, not harder, with 2 powerful techniques: spaced repetition and active recall. Spaced repetition means reviewing material over time, spacing out your study sessions to lock information into long-term memory. Active recall is testing yourself instead of just rereading notes, forcing your brain to retrieve answers. Together, they help you learn faster and remember longer. Jake saw the difference these methods made. He used to cram for biology tests, rereading textbooks late into the night, only to forget everything by exam day. Then he tried a new approach. For his next test, he used spaced repetition. He reviewed key terms like mitosis a little each day, starting a week early with quick refreshers before the test. For active recall, he made flashcards on Quizlet and quizzed himself, covering topics like cell division without peeking at his notes. When he got a question wrong, he'd revisit it later. By test day, he knew the material cold and scored an A, his first in biology. Here's the lesson. You don't need to study for hours if you study smart. Start small, like Jake. Pick one topic and use spaced repetition by reviewing it briefly every few days. Make flashcards or ask yourself questions to practice active recall. Apps like Quizlet or Anki can help. These techniques save time and boost confidence, turning studying into a skill you can master. Give them a try and watch your grades climb. Secret number 8. Set study goals and stay motivated. Our 8th secret is about keeping your fire burning, setting clear study goals, and staying motivated. Goals give you direction, like a map for your learning journey. They need to be specific, achievable, and meaningful to you. Motivation keeps you going, especially when things get tough. Rewarding yourself for small wins can make the process feel exciting, not draining. Jake learned this when he felt stuck with his grades. He was working hard but had no clear target, so progress felt random. Then he set a goal: improve his chemistry grade from a C to a B by the end of the quarter. He broke it down into steps, like studying 30 minutes daily and meeting his teacher for extra help. To stay motivated, he promised himself a movie night with friends if he hit his goal. Some days were hard, but tracking his progress in a notebook kept him focused. When he got that B, the movie felt like a victory lap, and he was hungry for more wins. Here's the lesson. Clear goals and small rewards can transform your study habits. Try Jake's method. Set one specific goal, like mastering a tough subject in a month. Break it into daily tasks and track your progress. Treat yourself to something fun, a snack, a game. When you hit milestones, motivation grows when you see yourself moving forward. You're not just studying, you're building a path to your best self. Start today and let your goals light the way. Secret number 9. Connect with family and friends for support. Our 9th secret is about leaning on the people around you. Connect with family and friends for support. Studying can feel lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. Sharing your goals with loved ones builds a cheering squad that lifts you up. Study groups with friends can make learning more fun and help you understand tough concepts. Jake found this out when he started opening up. He told his parents about his goal to improve his grades, and they checked in with encouragement. He also joined a study group with 2 classmates. They met weekly, quizzing each other on science terms and explaining tricky topics. Those sessions turned confusion into clarity, and Jake felt less stressed. His grades climbed and he grew closer to his friends. Here's the lesson. Don't go it alone. Share one study goal with your family or join a study group. Their support will keep you grounded and motivated. You're stronger together. Secret number 10. Small actions lead to big results. Let's wrap up with our final secret. Small actions lead to big results. Improving your studies isn't about giant leaps. It's about consistent, tiny steps that add up over time. Every choice you make, from setting a goal to silencing your phone, builds the path to success. Jake's story proves this. He didn't transform overnight. He started with one small habit, 5 minutes of meditation each morning. That led to better focus, then a study schedule, and soon, better grades. 3 months later, he was a confident student with A's and B's, all from small daily efforts. His journey shows that progress compounds. Here's the lesson. Pick one tip from today, like meditating or setting a goal, and try it for a week. Small steps create momentum. You don't need to be perfect, just persistent. Start today and share your progress in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Your best self is waiting.